Welcome back to music theory class. Today's class we will discuss the interval, includes melodic interval and harmonic interval. Also, we will discuss how to write these two intervals. And then we will talk about identifying the name of intervals. And last, we will talk about the minor second and the major second intervals. So let's first talk about the definition of interval. So what is the interval? Basically, in music theory, an interval is the difference in pitch between two sounds. So there are two types of intervals, melodic interval and harmonic intervals. So melodic interval refers to successively sounding tones. For instance, remember, I say the successively sounding tone. So, F, B, C, G. So play these melodic intervals like and melodic interval have three types: ascending, descending, and parallel. So ascending, which means the lower notes to the upper notes. And descending, which means upper notes to the lower notes. And the parallel is the lower notes and the upper notes in the same lines or spaces, like this. In the same space or in the same lines. This is the parallel. So let's move to harmonic interval. So harmonic interval refers to simultaneously sounding tones. So for example, switches play these two notes together at the same times. It's like so two notes play at the same times. That is the harmonic intervals. So do you notice how to write the melodic interval and harmonic interval? Okay, let's talk about it. So each interval has two notes, the lower notes and the upper notes. So because the melodic interval occurs when two notes are played in sequence, so when we write the melodic intervals, we write in a certain sequence. For example, let's see D and G. We write the melodic interval like this. The D is the lower notes and the G is the upper notes. See, these two notes has the big space between these two notes. And also, when we see the descending melodic intervals, which means the upper notes to the lower notes, right? So we read like this, upper notes to the lower notes. So when we write the harmonic interval, because the two notes are played at the same times, right? So we write the harmonic interval right to a line in a vertical, like this. See, the lower note, the upper note. That's the writing style for melodic interval and harmonic interval. Now, let's go to next. How to identify the name of intervals. So basically, the name of intervals depends on its number, also called diatonic number, and the quality. So for instance, the major third. Oops. So in this term, the major is the quality. The third in this term, which means number. So what is the number of intervals? Well, the number of intervals is the number of letter names it encompasses, or staff positions it encompasses. So both lines and spaces are counted, including the positions of both notes forming the intervals. For example, this is the harmonic intervals, right? Because this writes to a line in the vertical, right? So now let's count the number of this interval. Remember, both lines and spaces are counted. So both lines and spaces are counted. So A to D. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4. See, the number of this interval is 4. Let's take another example. Remember, both lines and spaces are counted. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the number of this interval is 7. So that's the number of intervals. Now let's move to the quality of intervals. The quality of each interval is further qualified using the term perfect, major, minor, augmented, and diminished. Let's see together. Perfect, major, minor, augmented, and diminished. There are also two terms of quality as called doubly diminished and doubly augmented. So this term is the quality of intervals. Okay, the last part for today's class is discussing the minor second and major second intervals. Minor second. The minor is quality, right? The second is number. So the definition of minor second includes 1 semitone in the second interval. Let's take an example. First, let's see the number of this interval is second, right? So we need to count 1, 2. This is the number of this interval. And now let's talk about the quality of this interval. It's the minor, right? See, the definition is 1 semitone in this interval. Let's see, B to C is a semitone, right? So this interval is called minor second. Oops. Minor second. Let's take another example. Let's see. D, O, C, and D. It's 1, 2. It's the number of 2, right? And let's take a look at the minor. The minor includes 1 semitone, but the C and D is a 2 semitone. So how to change? How to change to the minor, to the 1 semitone? First solution is flat D. It's a semitone, right? The second solution is keep the D, but sharp C. It's also a semitone. That is the minor second. So the minor second interval, also called the half step. Now let's move to a major second. The definition of major second includes 2 semitones in the second interval. C is 2 semitones. Let's take a look at examples. Major second. Remember quality and its number. So the major second, the number of major second is 2, right? Let's count 2 notes. 1, 2. So this is the number of 2. Now let's talk about the major. See, the definition is saying 2 semitones. Let's see, A to B includes 2 semitones. So this interval is major second. Let's take another example. First, count number of 2. 1, 2. This is the number of 2, right? Now let's see the quality. E to F. This includes 1 semitone, right? E to F. So how to change 1 semitone to 2 semitones? There are 2 solutions. First, let's keep E, but sharp F. Now this is 2 semitones in this interval. Now we can see this is the major second. The second solution, E, F. The second solution, we keep F, but flat E. So it's become the 2 semitone in this interval. So we also can see this is the major second. This is all about this class. Now we will do some exercise in class together. The first exercise is identifying the number of each intervals. So the number of each intervals, right? Remember to count both lines and spaces. So we will do the first one together. G to B. Let's count together. G, 1, 2, 3. See, count both line and spaces. And the second exercise is identifying the melodic interval and harmonic intervals. So the melodic interval is referring to successfully sounding tones, right? The harmonic intervals, which is two notes play at the same times, right? So let's take a look at the first one. See, this is successfully sounding tones. It has a specific sequence, the lower notes to upper notes. So this is the melodic intervals. And the last exercise is identifying minor second and major second. So the minor second, which is including one semitone in the second interval, and the major second, which is including two semitones in the second interval. So that's all for this class. Hope you will like it and understand all we discuss. There are homework for this class, so it's basically similar to this exercise we did. Well, see you next time.